Hi guys, welcome back to Spanmade. I'm going to talk to you about some bookish content today. I think I'm in my first reading slump. So I don't usually get reading slumps. I used to think that that wasn't really a thing. I didn't understand them and I was like, oh, I don't get reading slumps because I just read whenever I feel like. I just read whatever I want and I just read. That's what I do. And then ba-bam, I think I've hit one. So it's been a long time since I've actually talked to you about books, so I am going to quickly run through the 3 books that I did read since we've chatted, and they've been really good. So let's just quickly go through them and then we will talk about the 9 other books that I have started to read and haven't been able to finish since then. The following books I did read and I did enjoy. So the first one I read was Daniel Keyes' Flowers for Algernon, which was excellent. It was a bit different to what I was expecting and very, very emotional. It's about a guy whose intelligence levels change and how that separates him from the society that he's in and how people's interactions with him changes based on how smart he is. It's very interesting. It's got some really good points in there and some really enlightening views. It was different to what I expected for some reason. I thought it was about a spaceship and a cleaner from a spaceship, but I must have got that mixed up with a different book. Very, very good and very effective. I liked the interesting use of language and how it's told as a sort of diary. The language changes as the character develops. Like, you can see him learning in the very writing of the book, and I love that about this book. And I read it pretty quickly. I liked it. But then I also read The Last Lecture by Randy Pausch and Jeffrey Zaslow, which was an emotional roller coaster. This is a very deep book. It's about a guy who is dying and he gives this lecture. It's not about his cancer, it's about what you should do and in life, like how to learn, basically how to live. It was enlightening and not very fun. He is quite ill throughout the book and that really hit home with me and touched some chords I didn't want to touch. I was very sort of stoic, I guess, reading this. I had this mask up. I was like, no emotions will get through. I was like sucking tears back up into my tear ducts as I was reading it. It kind of made me feel sick in some cases. I was like, oh, what am I doing with my life? I might just vomit. Super good still. Still enjoyed it. And then I read Rhubarb, which I liked. It was very different. Its use of language was very odd. It had like really strange grammar and punctuation, and just the lack of it was kind of disturbing, but I did enjoy that. I did get into the story so much that at some points I forgot that it wasn't there and I just read the novel smoothly and it flowed, but then at some times I was like, wait, who's talking? When is this? I'm so confused. But that only happened a couple of times. It did take me a bit longer to read this one. It's about a blind girl and her relationship with a man who loves music. The way that it describes music was very powerful and very moving, and I loved that. Really cute guide dog in this book too. I really enjoyed that character. So those are the books that I did read. And as for the books that I haven't finished reading, I have 1,000,001 excuses, like I've been busy with my friend's wedding, my parents have been moving house, I've been really into my other art, photography, I've been really into astrophotography. I love photographing the stars and then editing those photos. That's really cool. But I will get into that another day. I'm in a reading slump. I really want to read, but then every time I pick up a book I'm like, I don't want to read this book. I think it's because I don't know what I want to read. So to get through this slump, I started reading lots of different books all at once, which is something I used to do a lot. And then I'd find one that I liked and I'd just read it all the way through and love it. But that hasn't happened yet. So what I've done is I've gone to a bookshop and I've ordered in When God Was Rabbit, because my friend told me I should read it, and then Bold Book Geek, you said it was great and I'd probably enjoy it, so yeah, anyway, I'm super keen to read that book, so it's on its way. I'm hoping it will break me out of this slump and I will love it. So these are the books. All of the books. All of the books. So all of these books are books that I've started reading. I'm gonna really quickly talk about them because, well, I don't know, I might not finish them and I might not get a chance to talk about them later. So first of all, let's talk about the book I'm not gonna finish, and that is called Wild. I've read quite a bit of this book. I got to about halfway and I found it too depressing, actually. Isolating. I kind of read this book and then felt lonely. I found it kind of heightened my anxiety, so I've put that down and I'm probably not going to finish it. Oh, and then, so I finally found Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the textbook, which isn't everything I wanted, and I couldn't be bothered reading it all, basically. It's cool, it's got little notes from Harry, Ron and Hermione, which is cute, but irritating. I don't know. What I want is different and very specific, and I don't think it exists, but that's okay. This one is called Jenny Wren. It's old, it's cute. I got it from the dump for $1. I will read it eventually, but I just picked it up and I was like, oh man, this is gonna take so much focus, and I just couldn't. The Book of Lost Threads by Tess Evans, which I'm quite far into, as you can see there, but it's just getting a bit tiresome. I just didn't want to read it anymore, so I kind of have put that one down for a while. I may or may not finish this one. These three that I just couldn't get into. So Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb is very big. It's a big book full of a lot of content. I started reading it and I just felt exhausted straight away. I was like, oh man, the effort for this is gonna be large. So I just didn't have that in me right now. And then these two books annoy me because they're good and I don't want to read them, and I don't know why. And that's entirely my fault, not these books' fault. I think I was in a bad mood when I started, I don't know. So I might get back into it later, I don't know. And Luigi's Freedom Ride. Look, I'm not very far in. How can I judge a book this far in? Like, that just doesn't seem like the right place to be judging a book in. But I'm in a weird reading slump mood. I'm moody, and I don't like it. But another two books that I'm hopefully gonna read to get me out of this slump, because I have them already, is one called You Could Do Better, which I just picked up for $3 at the Salvo's shop, I think it was. And it's cute, it's about TV and romance, and so far I'm quite liking it. I'm only this far in. And then I've also got The Fifth Wave, which I've read the first chapter and then the first line of the second chapter, which is pretty cool. Sometimes I think I might be the last human on Earth. Isolating! I want something warmer for the moment. I don't know. I want to read this book. I really, really want to read this book, but every time I pick it up I'm like, ugh. There's like no words to explain why I'm in this reading slump, and it is annoying. So that's my reading slump. Okay, thank you all so much for watching. I will get back to you with more content soon. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. How do you turn this thing off?